25 meters. And I know that the T-20 is there, but there's another tank right next to the T-20 who is invisible. And when he's detected, he will be within the 50-meter range, but he will be unspotted. As soon as I see him, I took a measurement, and it was 28 meters, and there's no way that he was able to get through that 50-meter range and not be spotted unless there's a bug. So I'm going to show you as it happens, and we're going to pause it as soon as the tank appears. I think it's a T-3485. So that's the OI hitting me. And as soon as we see that tank appear, I'm going to pause the game. And there he is. Okay, it's a T-34-100. But look how close he is. He's 24 meters. And you'll notice that he jumped ahead a little bit. When I first measured it, it was 28 meters. And I wasn't really moving that fast, and he was. Why didn't I detect him when he was at 50 meters? Isn't that what the spotting range is? That's what I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I should have spotted him sooner than that. Okay, so now this is camo ratings and reconnaissance spotting for my tank and for an enemy tank in one of the videos that I'm going to show you. This is just the bare tank. I have coated optics, I have the camo net, the vehicle camo, vents, brothers in arms, I've got all that stuff. But I'm going to show you absolutely nothing, no configuration. So this is a base tank, which means it has the worst spotting possible. This is a tank that's going to be in the video. It's a T-3485. And we're going to give him the best camo he could possibly have. The camo net, vehicle camo, 100% crew skill, improved vents, brothers in arms, and consumables, which means that he should be perfectly hidden from me. And the question is, how far away does he have to be before I can spot him? And according to WOTinfo.net, he has to be at 228 meters before I can spot him in the open. That means that if he is within 228 meters, I will spot him according to the game mechanics. In the replay you're going to see, he was within the 228 meters and he was invisible directly in front of my tank. In fact, he was at 86 meters, which is well within the 228 meter range. And I do have the improved vents and the brothers in arms, and I have coated optics, and I probably have recon and situational awareness, which kicks it up to 258. Unfortunately, I cannot log into my account right now to show it, but again, the minimum was 226, and you're going to see that he was directly in front of me when you watch the video. Look for the T-3485. He's going to be directly in front of me. I believe what's going to happen is I'm going to fire my gun and hit a Cromwell and do a lot of damage. And then the T-3485 is going to fire at me directly in front of me on a known area of the map where there's no obstruction between me and him, and he will be invisible until he fires his gun. He and I will then go around the ridge. We will probably be near the 50-meter proximity spotting range and probably within it, and we're going to disappear from each other for a short period of time. And when we reappear, it's hard to measure how far away he is, but it's going to Okay, so over here we're going to see some weird behavior in regards to spotting. Okay, so the Cromwell is right in front of me. He's at 74 meters. Now look at that road. You can see that there's nothing in front of me, nothing obstructing my view. And watch what happens. How did the T-3485 remain hidden? He's only 86 meters away from me. There's nothing that should be obscuring my view of him. Now keep in mind that I have coded optics and BIA and the recon skill and all those things on this tank. There's no reason why. Okay, so maybe it's possible that the bushes obscure something and I couldn't see him. But watch what continues to happen. Because more strange things are going to happen. It's not over yet. Now keep in mind he's at 88 meters. Now from this point, now he's at 93. We're going to start moving closer to each other. Now it's at that point he disappears. And he was moving closer towards me. We're going to meet around the corner. We're going to meet in about a second. But when you measure the distance that he's at, and keep in mind that it's very difficult to measure because of the tools we have, he's not going to be more than 50 meters away. He's going to be there he is. I can't really measure it because you have to be able to grab onto the corner of that tank. He just appeared. Is he at the 50 meter mark? No, he isn't. He's probably more at the 30 meter mark. I'm going to advance very slowly. Look at how slow I'm going. And see if we can get a measure. No, not yet. "35 meters away. There's no way. I don't know if he was moving. There's no way that I traveled 15 meters in the time period that I just showed you in slow motion. It's just not possible. He was well within the 50 meter range, possibly at 36, 37, 38 meters before he was spotted. And it's not right. And notice that he should have spotted me also, but yet his gun is pointed at the lower level. And keep in mind, I just destroyed 2 of his friends. So he's looking for me, and it's as if he doesn't know that I'm there. He is going to see me. At some point, he's going to react. But it still seems as though he hasn't noticed me. Okay, so now you can see his gun is starting to turn around, and it says I'm spotted, and we are 25 meters apart, and there is a delay in the spotting notification, but I find it hard to believe that the spotting system is working based on what I just saw. We should have detected each other at a greater distance than the 35 meters. Now watch what happens. Now he is 25 meters, and let's draw a circle over to this spot right here, which is where the center of my reticule is. There's this gap. It's about the same. It's about 25 meters to that gap. And what do you think 25 meters? This is only 16 meters behind me. So if you add those two together, that's 40 meters. And in order to get 50 meters, you'd have to be at the crest of that hill, and the crest of this hill would be about 50 meters. However, watch what happens. Okay, now look at my 2 allies. Now remember, behind that tank at the crest of that hill and the opening over here is about 50 meters. So if a tank shows up in that opening and there's a tank on my side of that crest, they should proximity spot each other. But does that happen? I'm going to do it in slow motion. There's a tree falling down. So there's 2 tanks where that tree fell down. And there's a tank that appears. Now the question is, that tank right there, I cannot measure his distance. Is he 50 meters away from these 2 tanks? I don't think so. I think he is less than 50 meters away. And I think that they were unable to proximity spot each other. You'll also notice that my 2 allies are not reacting to the Jagdpanzer as if he is invisible to them. You'll notice that the KV-2 was spotted. He could have been spotted by the OI, I'm not sure. But my 2 allies have yet to notice the Jagdpanzer, although he just fired. And that's the end of the replay. So that's a little weird. How did the Jagdpanzer see my 2? Well, okay, so maybe they were spotted, whatever. But there's something weird going on. Now, in this particular bug, I'm actually in the process of turning my tank. I was facing the other direction. I noticed on the mini-map that there's a Cromwell B right there. And what he was doing was he was driving, he was in front of us. And he is driving around this building because he wants to flank us. So I'm going to pre-aim on this corner. You can see I'm not far from the corner. I'm 18 meters to that tank, perhaps 20 meters to that corner. And he's going to come around the corner and he's going to be invisible. Watch what happens.
Ready to fire.
I'll show you again. See, I'm turning around because I know he's coming. Pre-aiming on the corner.
Target acquired.
I'm going to show you one more time. This time we're going to find out how far away he was. So obviously I have to do it in slow motion. It's going to be 1/16 speed. Oh, now this is different. Now you can see that the replay is showing the tank. However, it's not what I saw when I played the game. Let's see what the distance is. Over here, it's 40 meters. So when he came around the corner, he was at 40 meters, but when I played the game, I did not see him. So as you can see, he sees me there, and I don't see him. So it's a bug in the replay and a bug in the game. You know, it's 2 bugs. He turns his gun. Fires. When he fires his gun at me is when I realize that there's a tank there. He was 29 meters away when I spotted him. And you can see now I'm reacting to what's going on.
Ready to fire.
So I'm going to play it one more time and we'll see what happens at normal speed. So I know that the Cromwell was not, I know that he's coming around. Oh, look at that. Now he's spotted even though he's coming around the building. Isn't that weird? So the first time I showed the replay, you didn't see him at the corner of the building. You just saw him, you saw the bullet hit me from an invisible tank. And then one of the next times I did it, he appeared directly in front of me. But now, even though he's far away, I can spot him. And I know there's always going to be people who say, oh, it's a bug in the replay. It's not a bug in the replay. It's a bug in the game. That's why I marked it. That's why I did not react to him. He should have been a dead tank coming around that corner. Oh, look at that. He disappeared again.
Target acquired.
And anyone who says there's a bug in the replay, this shows you the dangers of having bugs in replays. All the problems that it has caused by having bugs in replays where you can't even show sufficient evidence. It creates doubt when there's bugs in the game because now we don't have accurate records of the actual games. And it's not the replay itself that has the bug. It's the software mechanism that plays back the replay. Because the replay is a static file. It's always the same and it never changes. The bytes are static, it's non-changing. Every time I played the replay, it behaved differently, which means it's a software error. It's not a problem with the file, the replay file. It's a programming error, and it's in the client. Our Firefly destroyed a stirrer Emil, and the stirrer Emil was in the lower right corner, I believe, in the K0 area. He just died. Now watch the chat. Obviously he's typing right now. And look what it says. GD, which we know means goddamned. It says goddamn invisible bullshit. So he's complaining that an invisible tank killed him, which apparently was the Firefly. I don't know the reason why, but that's what he said, and the only one who can show it from his perspective is him. This is another bug that has come up since one of the recent patches in August 9.15.1. I don't know if this is tied to the other bugs. This is the second time that I've seen this happen with the auto-aim, although it's not the second time. I believe that there's been at least one other time that I've seen this type of behavior, but I didn't know at the time what was going on. It was a couple of weeks ago. Basically, I'm going to use the auto-aim on one of these tanks. I believe it's going to be the Cromwell. And while he's auto-aimed, he's going to disappear. And the auto-aim is going to stay locked on to him. And then he's going to reappear again. And the auto-aim is still locked on. And it doesn't make sense. And it's the second time not only that it's happened, but it's the second time on this map that it's happened. So let's watch what happens.
Permission to engage.
Okay, now you just saw the Cromwell disappear and reappear. And I know you can say, oh, there's nothing. Okay, look at how far he is. It looks like 74 meters. Now keep in mind the auto-aim is currently engaged. There was an audible message that it engaged.
Enemy armor is hit. Target lost. Ready to fire.
And when he died, it said target lost. Now, basically what happened was I engaged the auto-aim on a visible tank who was approximately 74 meters away. He then disappeared momentarily. He then reappeared again. I fired at him. He died. The auto-aim was then released with the message, target lost. And it knows that it's targeting it because the auto-aim was locked onto it. I'm going to rewind it. And you can watch it again. And listen to the audible messages. We'll do it with a fixed camera. Okay, now what you're going to notice is that he only disappeared for a short period of time in the replay. However, during the game, he disappeared for a longer period of time. And what you're going to notice is when he disappeared, the gun was not pointing in the right direction. And there was a period of time that the gun was aiming off in that direction somewhere, and then it corrected itself. And I believe that when it corrected itself is when the tank reappeared again during the game. And during the replay, he only disappears for a split second, but again, that's not what happened when I played the game. The replay also has a bug.
Ready to fire.
You'll notice that I was able to lock the auto-aim on the tank when it appeared as though he was invisible. Yes, I know that there is a replay bug, but I recorded this because the bug occurred during the game. When I finished playing the game, I said, that's a bug. He shouldn't disappear and then reappear. And then I go to my replay folder and I make a note on the replay and I put it in a special folder that only has bugs for World of Tanks. And I've been doing this since this bug started. So that's a bug in the game. To show it one more time. And keep in mind, again, as I played the game, he had disappeared for a greater period of time.
Target acquired.
How did I lock on the auto-aim when the tank was invisible? When I was playing the game, at the point that I got the target acquired, he was visible. Okay, so that's the bug. I'm going to point out a spotting bug. Take a look at the mini-map. I'm going to make the mini-map very big. Now look, this is a typical game for me. Look at my allies with the green dots. Notice the positions they take up. The tank destroyers are at sniping positions on the hill. The heavy tanks are in the northwest corner. SPGs are in the back. But look at where I am. I'm that little triangle in the D6 area. And this is common for the way I play. It's the beginning of the game. The score is only 1-1. I drove across the center, and I made it to the middle. That's a position where I'm going to have to proximity spot when I play the game. Most of my allies don't have to worry about proximity spotting. So they're not going to have this problem that I'm going to show you in this game. This is how I play every game. It doesn't matter what map I'm on. I take very dangerous positions in enemy territory and I spot the enemy and I flank them. So I do a lot of proximity spotting, and I'm finding this bug in about 20% of the games that I'm playing.